I want to talk to you today about something that nobody in health optimization talks about. Not blood work, not VO2 max, not testosterone. It's your feet. I know. Stay with me for just a second. Your feet literally impact everything above them. Yes, if you want your pecs to be larger, your butt to be bigger, your abs, your heart, your brain, your gut health, they're all impacted by your feet. And what I've learned over the last 15 years of running Stark and watching hundreds of high-performing executives try to optimize their health, the people who plateau, the people who keep getting hurt, the people whose training never quite translates to how they feel and perform in real life, they almost always have the same blind spot. If you're a CEO, founder, physician, or someone responsible for serious outcomes, pressure isn't occasional, it's constant. People, capital, and consequences sit on your shoulders every day. While running a manufacturing company, I assumed discipline alone would carry me through that pressure. It didn't. And eventually I broke, suffering a multitude of serious health problems. Because stress accumulates, and if your physiology can't buffer that load, performance eventually drops. I'm Todd Vande Hei, CEO of Stark, and I've operated at scale where the margin for error was thin and my health had to perform but didn't. If you carry real responsibility, your health isn't a hobby, it's infrastructure. Here we talk about how high-performing leaders build optimal health that can handle the pressure their lives demand, so when the stakes rise, their physiology rises with it. Quick note before we dive in, this podcast is for educational purposes only. It's not medical advice. Always work with your physician or qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your training, nutrition, medications, or health protocols. They've spent serious money optimizing everything from the neck up, and they've completely neglected the two things that are in contact with the ground every single second they're standing, walking, or training. This is one of those topics where once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you thought about your foot strength? I'm guessing never. Or maybe once after you sprained your ankle and a PT gave you a wobble board to stand on for a few weeks. But here's the reality. The modern shoe, specifically the thick, cushioned, elevated heel that most of us have worn our entire adult lives, was engineered for comfort. And it delivered that. Incredibly comfortable. But comfort came with a cost. And when your foot is wrapped in a thick foam cushion with a raised heel and a rigid sole, your intrinsic foot muscles, the small muscles inside the foot that control fine movement and balance and force transfer, they stop working. They don't have to. The shoe does the work for them. Over years and decades, those fine muscles atrophy. They get weaker. They get disorganized, and your nervous system loses its ability to read the ground beneath you accurately. This is called the loss of proprioception. Your foot is essentially going deaf to its environment. And the downstream effects of that, they're not small. They cascade upward through your entire kinetic chain, your ankle, your knees, your hips, your lower back, your shoulders. Everything above the foot is affected by how well your foot is actually functioning below it. A Nature study published in 2021 followed adults who switched to minimal footwear for 6 months. Foot strength, measurable objective foot strength, increased significantly, not because they did special exercises, simply because their feet were allowed to function the way they were designed to function. And that's how far we've drifted, that just changing your shoes would make such a big difference. Now, here's where most people stop. They hear foot health and they think injury prevention, sprained ankles, plantar fasciitis, which is fine. It's boring, but whatever, it's fine. But I want you to think about this quite a bit differently, because your foot function isn't just about not getting hurt. It's about how much of your effort to develop the rest of your body actually translates into output. I mean, think about what your foot does during a deadlift, for example, or a squat, or a sprint, a long day on your feet, running a business. It's your contact point with the ground. It's the base of your entire power production system. Force travels from the ground up. Every movement you make, every rep in the gym, every step that you take, every move you make. I'll be watching song from the 80s music reference. Let me know in the comments if you remember that one. Every time you're on your feet for 8 hours at a trade show or walking a job site, that force originates at the foot. So if your foot is weak and proprioceptively compromised, You're building your entire physical output on a bad foundation, like building a house on a beach. You're losing force because it doesn't even get fully to your legs. You're creating compensation at the hip and the knee that your body then has to sort of work around. You're burning energy on stabilization that your foot should be handling instead. So it's the physical equivalent of running a high performance engine on bad fuel injectors. Research on proprioception published in the NIH's own journals described it as a cornerstone of motor control, of postural regulation, and of injury prevention. It's not a nice thing to have. It's a cornerstone. And for executives specifically, people on their feet more than they realize, people who constantly travel, who stand in presentations and work through or walk through facilities and spend long days in meetings, foot function is directly connected to how you feel and how you perform at the end of those days. Think fatigue, lower back tightness, knee aches, hip stiffness. A lot of what you're attributing to age is actually compensation from a foot that stopped functioning correctly 20 years ago. So I'm not here to tell you to throw away your shoes and go barefoot. That's not practical for most people. It's not even smart. Transition too quickly and you're going to get hurt because you're asking the muscles that haven't worked for decades to suddenly, well, do something. But I'm going to tell you that the shoe industry has sold us a story, not that there's a conspiracy here, that more cushioning equals better outcomes. And the data just doesn't support that. Let's talk briefly about the barefoot shoe movement. It's minimalist footwear with very, very thin, flat soles and wide toe boxes so your toes can kind of spread out. It's growing for a reason. Vivo Barefoot, one of the leading brands in this space and my favorite, reported 25% year-over-year growth. And like I said, they're my favorite and I'm a happy customer. It's not a fringe thing anymore. It's becoming mainstream because people are feeling the difference when they convert. So what these shoes do is simple. They let your foot actually function. You can do this just by taking your shoes off and going barefoot. The thin sole means that your nervous system gets real feedback from the ground. The flat heel means your Achilles and your calf and your posterior chain, they work through their full range. The toe box means that your toes can splay naturally, which is how they were designed, which activates the intrinsic muscles and dramatically improves force distribution. And the research backs this up too. A 2025 systematic review in the Journal of Clinical Medicine looks specifically at barefoot and minimalist footwear in strength training contexts. The findings are this: improved foot morphology, improved intrinsic muscle size, and better functional outcomes came across the board with using these shoes. So here's my practical advice. Because I run a health optimization program and I've watched people try to flip this switch overnight, go slowly. Start by wearing minimalist shoes for daily walking, not your gym sessions yet. Give your foot muscles time to kind of wake up. Add foot strengthening exercises, toe spreads, short foot exercises, single leg balance work in the gym, calf raises done through full range of motion barefoot, and give it 3 to 6 months before you completely make the transition. At Stark, our coaches and chiropractors assess foot function as part of our intake process because what we see consistently, and this is how I'm knowledgeable about this topic, is that foot dysfunction is upstream of injuries and compensation patterns that our students don't even know that they have. So let me give you a concrete framework. First, assess where you are. Stand barefoot and try to spread all 5 toes. Can you do it? Can you lift your big toe independently while keeping the others down? If not, your intrinsic foot muscles are underactive and it's fixable. You just have to retrain it. Second, add daily footwork, 5 to 10 minutes. Short foot exercises. Imagine trying to shorten your foot by pulling the ball of your foot toward your heel without curling your toes. Toe spreads, calf raises barefoot through full range, all the way up, all the way down with a heel drop. Do this consistently and you'll feel a difference within weeks. And you can do this in meetings too, LOL. People are going to notice and think you're kind of weird, but you should do it anyway. You're the leader. Bring them with you. Third, transition your footwear gradually. Start with minimalist shoes for everyday walking, not running, not the gym, just daily movement. Your feet will adapt, so be patient. The fourth is integrate single leg work into your training. Single leg balance exercises, single leg deadlifts, step ups. These force your foot, your ankle, and hip to work as a coordinated unit. Every rep is proprioceptive training. And fifth, I highly recommend this, get assessed, especially if you have chronic knee pain or chronic hip tightness or reoccurring low back issues. Get a functional movement assessment that includes your foot. There's a very good chance what you think is a hip problem is actually a foot problem expressing itself upstream as a hip problem. And if you're local in Orange County, of course, just reach out to us and we'll take care of that for you. So health is a skill. And like any skill, the fundamentals matter. The basic things matter more than the more exciting things. We spend an enormous amount of energy on sophisticated stuff like blood work optimization, VO2 max training, sleep tracking, peptides, cold plunge protocols, and all that's valuable. I'm a fan of all of it. It all matters. But if your foundations are compromised, if the two things connecting you to the ground are weak and they're stiff and they're proprioceptively blind, you're limiting everything else. The leaders I've watched perform at the highest levels for the longest periods of time aren't just optimizing the marquee variables. They're building from the ground up, literally. Your feet have been in shoes your entire life for most of us. It's time you give them a chance to do what they were designed for. This is not intended to be a commercial. You can build your own ecosystem. Ask your LLM to build one like Stark's. Let me know how it goes. You can message me on Instagram at testosterone. That's TESTODDERONE. I would love to hear from you. If you like today's topic, go ahead and click like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more about Stark, you can find us at stark.health. That's stark.health.